Good morning, guys. This is Dimitri again, driving to work, if you can call this driving, inching. Um, so I want to talk to you about the Sony's exciting press event that apparently is happening next week on October 25th, and there's been all sorts of rumors, speculations about what Sony would announce next week, and I guess I wanted to speculate as well, but I wanted to try to predict what Sony might really release next week, logically, employing logical reasoning, if you can do that to things such as rumors. I have no inside information whatsoever from Sony, so I personally don't know what Sony will release, but this is just something that I'm thinking about from a standpoint of logic. So Sony is having this press event next week, to which they invited all the big shots, all the Sony photographers, Jason Lanier, and also all the big time bloggers like the Northrops and such. The last time they invited all those big shots was for A9 announcement, and A9 was a revolutionary camera that I own and enjoy. Sony is a company that is basically, when it comes to not only photography but other things, they like to innovate and produce new technology. To them, it's all about new, exciting technology and leapfrogging. So, because they are creating and announcing this event where they invite everybody based on their history, I think this is going to be something very, very exciting, and something which will leapfrog and leave everybody else in the dust, or at least for near future. So with that in mind, and the fact that the last such exciting event when they introduced everybody was the A9 announcement, which was a revolutionary camera. I don't think they're inviting all those big shots to bring in Sony A7 Mark III, a camera for the masses, which is not going to be very exciting. It's going to be cheaper than A9 and those types of cameras. They're not going to make a big deal about this. What they will make big deal about, something that is technologically really, really advanced and above and beyond what's out there. With that in mind, the most logical prediction I have is a camera with a crazy large sensor, like a 100 megapixel sensor. So I think because you have the Sony is not going to do medium format. They already said that, so we'll back with the full frame. It could be a new technology. It could be a camera with some completely new, different sensor, possibly. But what makes sense to me is something like a Sony A7R Mark III or Sony A9 with a huge sensor, something like a 100 megapixel sensor. Nikon came up with D850, 46 megapixels. Sony has 50. What's all this 46, 50 stuff? Sony has to be first. Sony only has 42. They'll make sure that they come up with something crazy. So my prediction is something like a 100 megapixel sensor camera, like a Sony A7 Mark III, A7R Mark III, or they may call it A9R if they want to use the same same form factor and same body as the A9, and call it a Sony A9R. Put a 100 megapixel or 90 or 100 megapixel sensor in it, and everybody's gonna be wow. And this is Sony, so I feel pretty good about my prediction. Now, I may be wrong. We'll find out very soon, just 4 or 5 days from now. Now, can Sony also announce as a second camera like Sony A7 III? Sure, as a second camera, they can say, oh, and by the way, we're also, gonna produce a $2,000 camera, because this camera with a large sensor is not gonna be cheap. So this is just my prediction. It's just 5 days from now. So in 5 days, you can write in comments and say that Dimitri, you're full of shit, and that's not what was introduced. Or maybe I was right. Should be interesting, don't you think? In any case, I'll be watching to see what they introduce on October 25th. Thank you.